Boudreaux's Backyard. Welcome to part one of my Valentines series. So we're gonna make lobster bisque. That's traditionally something you only see in your high-end restaurants. People regard it as something special and unique, and it is, but it's not that hard to make at home. Worst part is probably breaking down a whole lobster. I'm gonna show you how to do it, but another trick is, nowadays you can buy lobster stock. You can just buy the tail meat sold separately. So if you wanna make it from scratch, you want to do a little twist on it, let's make lobster bisque. You really don't want to start pulling them apart while they're still alive, so with the tip of your knife just drive that down into the center of the eye. So now that you're off that little guy, you could go ahead and separate the tail meat from the body. And I like to use a kitchen shears. Just open that tail up and you can pull all that meat out of the tail. Make sure you get what you can out those little fins on the bottom. Now go ahead and separate the claws off. I'm going to cut off the bottom section of the claw. Leave it whole. It'll make a nice little garnish at the end. Now on to the fun stuff. Let's go ahead and make that stock. Put your shells in a pot. Rough chop you some vegetables. And then you want to fill that just to the top of the shells with cold water. Now while your stock's on the stove, let's go ahead and get our vegetables ready. Small dice of onion, 1 red bell pepper, orange bell pepper, and a stalk of celery. Don't forget to mince up some garlic. Now once your stock is reduced by half, you can go ahead and strain it out. Now throw you in a stick of butter, let that get real nice and hot, and then add those vegetables. Cook that down till they get nice and soft. Now stir in some flour. You can cook it for about 10 minutes, make a light roux. Now let's start layering flavor. We're going to add in some dried herbs, some chili flakes, and some Creole seasoning. Stir that up a bit. We're going to add in your tomato paste and get that nice and toasted up. Now add in about a cup of sherry to deglaze the bottom of that pot. You could also use a dry white wine. Cook that for a few minutes and then we could go ahead and add in that stock. Let that come to a simmer and we could add in our heavy cream. Now go ahead and let that simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Go ahead and taste for your seasoning and add you some salt and pepper if needed. Now this is a smooth soup, so I'm using a stick blender to go ahead and puree it. You can use an upright blender if that's all you have. Now I went ahead and chopped up that lobster meat. You want to add this in and cook for about 3 minutes. Poach it in the soup. Fry up some toast points for the presentation. Now you can plate this up table side. It'll be real beautiful. Put that poached lobster claw, your toast points. Pour your soup. I like to top it with a little olive oil and some sliced chives. Boudreaux's Backyard, wishing you a happy Valentine's.